Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. We have a liftoff. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
Good evening and welcome to PCKC TV. I'm your host, John Kreisbergs. It's Tuesday night, which means it's time to talk comics. And it's kind of a strange weekend. I think we'll find out a little bit more about that from our good friend, William Binderup at Elite Comics. And speaking of William, let's go ahead and also welcome to the Tuesday evening fun, Chris Jackson from Planet Comicon Kansas City. Let me get these guys added in here. Woo. Happy Tuesday night, everybody.
Greetings.
How's it going?
Good.
Where are you that you have a hat and jacket on? It's like 95 degrees out.
I am in my hunker bunker, in my very comfortable basement. But the reason why I'm wearing the hat is I actually spent 2 or 3 days in southeast Missouri camping. There's this thing called Outside I discovered over the last 3 or 4 days. There's places where you can swim and hike and sweat, apparently.
You're not selling me on it. What else you got?
How about a rainstorm? We made our way through a rainstorm. So this
Restaurants, hotels?
No, this was camping. So this was, and if you haven't been to southeast Missouri, it is a little like Gravity Falls. I've discovered.
Little out of reality.
It's it is a reality unto itself. So, but it is absolutely gorgeous weather, absolutely gorgeous time. But so yeah, and so I'm reacclimating to air conditioning now. So it's I might have to turn the air conditioning back up. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I thought maybe you'd fled the city for someplace cooler.
No, I definitely did not. It was definitely warmer. So, but what have you guys been up to for this last week? Chris, you bidding on anything interesting this week?
I've been picking up a few things on eBay as usual, and digging around in my basement and attic and trying to find out what's there. And see what goodies I've located lately.
Yeah, man, this is.
How many of you are familiar with the old flicker rings from the 1960s?
Nice.
There's a Robin flicker ring. Hold on, I'm having trouble finding my camera.
It's
upside down.
Upside down flicker ring?
Yeah, a little Fantastic Four flicker ring.
Oh, sweet.
Turn it, the picture changes.
Yep.
There's all kinds of fun stuff laying around. So,
how did you find that smaller thing in your basement?
Yeah, and then last week William mentioned how occasionally I'll be digging around and just find random books I'd forgotten I had. And long ago, I was digging around and I was down there with somebody, William or somebody, and I reached up on top of a box and found a Captain America 100. And then I didn't see it for a long time. Well, I found it again this week. It's the same one I found last time we were looking. It's a very high-grade copy.
I'll pay that right
$200.
now.
Yeah. You want that $200 price?
I will take that right now.
Yeah. So I have fun finding those.
Wait a minute. So how do you where did you misplace it? Where was it?
It was if you don't see it, but there's a row of boxes behind me. And it was in one of those boxes. And there's boxes in the other room. There's, I'd say, roughly 200 boxes I can see from where I'm sitting.
Oh my God.
It was somewhere in those. I found Daredevil 3 with the first appearance of the Owl. Hadn't seen that in a long time.
Jeez.
It used to be part of my sale inventory.
I owe you $315 so far. Keep going.
And then this other Daredevil with Spider-Man appearance, that's actually a pretty good book.
That's a great book. I just sold one of those like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So that one's not even marked, William. So that one's free.
Well, it's a buy two get one free.
It is. It's
then
both.
This is real vintage. This is one of the Spider-Man magazines from 1966. It's I remember I first bought my copy, original off the stands, at a Doll's grocery store in Des Moines, and it was an oversized magazine. They came out with, this is issue number 2, the color version.
Oh,
super hard to get in good condition because they're the wrong size.
Explain that to me. What do you mean the color in full color? I don't understand that.
Well, they had a black. This is issue number 2. Issue number 1 had a color cover but a black and white interior.
Oh.
And this is a color version. Then they stopped after 2. I really enjoyed it, but apparently I was one of the only ones, and my 35 cents. My 35 cents apparently did not pay all the bills. So
yeah.
But I love the old Vermeer
They're hard
stuff,
to get in good condition now.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Because all the stuff people are hauling to shows is not that size. Those things usually take a little bit of
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this one's all beat up. This is just a copy to read and enjoy. But it's the kind of thing I find laying around in my basement. So
I was wondering, like, if he had lost that one, like behind, like, the air conditioner. Did he get wedged in with some, like, I don't know, some old tents and sleeping bags? It's
that can happen too, but no, they're usually
the best
in a comic
basement
box.
story I ever heard from Chris was not at his basement. It was a collection he went and bought. There was like all these awesome vintage collector cards and all these great Silver Age comics and like 50 ray guns and red wagons and all this stuff. And also buried in the basement amongst all that stuff was a box of old vintage sweaty fireworks.
Yes.
Ooh,
yes.
Not good.
There was a guy who had an amazing collection. It was all in those plastic bins, the
tubs, yeah.
And it was all lined up against a wall, and at the center bottom bin was fireworks surrounded by an amazing collection of paper products.
And then his
about 8 feet away from
collection.
And about 8 feet away from the furnace.
Wow,
that's an awesome collection.
You got there in a nick of time.
That was also, I believe, when you bought that. It was like a Friday, and he said, "I have to have all this stuff out of here by Saturday. I'm moving out."
Yes.
So you had to make like 15 trips to this guy's house because he had planned nearly a complete 24 hours in advance to vacate his house.
Oh wow! So yeah. John kind of sums up my feelings on this. Yikes is right, man.
It's an interesting business.
Yeah.
By the way, I wanted fireworks. I've since discovered that vintage fireworks actually have some real value. Old black cats and things, and the paper wrappers and things are apparently very clean.
At least the logo wrappers. I don't know about the explosives themselves.
Right. Well, I threw them away because Sydney would not let me bring them in the house.
I think Sydney's right on this one. I'm gonna go with Sydney on this one.
And I found out they probably were worth a lot of money. So,
to the right buyer, of course, always to the right buyer.
First, you got to find the right pyromaniac.
That's right.
Neither here nor there.
I feel with you two that there's probably somebody in your circle. You would have there's probably a first call. I know there's probably a first call. It's like, you know what? Now that I think about it, I do know a guy who would probably be into those fireworks.
Yeah, I know that I can find a place for them, but that's neither here nor there. That was a really interesting collection.
Nice. So, we got people saying hi. Or John's right. Or just some maniac.
And I think we have a young man waiting for us in the green room here.
Maybe. We do. So I know, William, you've got stuff to talk about this week. The hall you said is different, so we're looking forward to that. We'll talk about that a little later on. You're right. Okay. We do have a guest waiting for us here.
Sorry, I jumped ahead of you there, John.
No worries.
Way to ruin the intro.
I know, man. All right, we got to start over. Let's just bring him in. Let's just bring him in. I think we could do like all the flowery intros and stuff like that, but I think when you can go by one name, I think that's kind of cool. I've never been in a place in my life where I could go by just one name, so we're gonna bring him in. I'm just gonna say it, e.Bas. There he is.
He is. One name like Elvis.
I know you.
Right?
Hello there, Eric.
Hey, everybody.
I didn't know you actually had names. I thought you just had the one.
It's great to see you guys.
You need to get that officially changed to just e.Bas, no long version.
e.Bas, yeah. My last name is just too long. It's too foreign. It's too hard to pronounce, and I just gave up.
As somebody with a foreign last name, I totally feel you right now. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it's been Richard since I was a child. Like in roll call in school, it was just is Eric Eric here.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's like it's usually when you get the pause. But you know what? I was always told it always means that I get to have the control of the conversation. No matter what conversation, if they're trying to say your name, you automatically have control of the conversation because nobody can pronounce it.
Yeah, and now I have e.Bas, so that's a whole segue into a whole other story. But people on the street and they have no idea who I am. Well, sit down and let me give you the whole history.
So for the 4 people that are watching that don't know who you are, right? You know, so we got to talk about this a little bit. You've worked on a lot of interesting stuff here. A lot of work that you just started off with at Top Cow. A lot of titles that went through there, starting in the 2000s, and then since then, you've really had a kind of an interesting career there. But you know, not only just with them, but obviously working with a lot of the majors in terms of covers and your cover work, and then a lot of work with our good friends over at Rothic, who we talked to just a few weeks ago.
You know them, I think. They're e.Bas. You know them.
Yeah. Rothic. I've heard of Rothic.
Right?
Rothic Comic.
Yeah.
They do. What is I think Don McTeague works there.
Yeah.
She does everything, right? She does everything.
Yeah. I think they're based in Canada or something.
Yes.
Thanks for having me, guys. This is actually my very first virtual con. I've never been online before.
Awesome, man.
I normally don't even get the messages or the alerts. I didn't even know. I was about to walk out the door. Speaking of Don McTeague, I was going to send her a package. I actually can show it to you. It's for a jam piece that we're doing. I guess I can announce it. I'm doing my own Kickstarter for an art book, and it's going to be a release for my Mojo series as well. And we're doing a collaborative jam on the same board, the same piece of paper for the very first time. Because we've done connecting covers before for this Rothic company that you guys were talking about. And I was actually on the way. I had my shoes on and everything, ready to head out the door to send her the package today, so we can get started on it. And JP Roth is like, "No, you can't go." So I was
this is a test. Yeah, this is a testament to my organizational ability in not getting you the information until like 9 minutes ago.
So needless to say, I miss every virtual con possible.
We're discovering why now. We're discovering why you're missing them.
It's because I have JP Roth and I have a Don McTeague. They handle everything for me. They're not my agents or anything, but they pretty much run the life. Like, e.Bas, go that way. e.Bas, go that way. And,
so it's easier that way.
Yeah, and it gives me a chance to talk to the girls. And Jackson, you know what that's like. Like they're a delight and they're pleasant.
They are amazing women, and yes, I do enjoy being with the 3 of you, which has happened numerous times.
So Eric, tell me a little bit about this jam that you guys are doing, because you're actually shipping a physical board back and forth. I mean, how is it like you start something and it's going to go to Dawn, or are you guys going to go back and forth a few times? How's this going to work?
Actually, yeah. This is actually my first time doing a collaborative jam on my book called Mojo. It's an art book, like a sketchbook, that I put out. And for the Kickstarter, I wanted to try to do something different. I've always wanted to work on a jam piece with Dawn, and I thought this would be perfect. And it is going to be a topless. There's going to be a topless version. So,
oh my,
yeah. I think Dawn hasn't done one in a while, and This guy made it happen.
And you need to get your hand back in because you don't have enough experience with that.
Yeah, I thought I was rubbing shoulders with some good company, so I was in good hands. So to answer your question, so what I did, I designed like a border towards the bottom, and has this gold skull and these gold octopus tentacles from one of the characters, the Kraken. She has this pet octopus that's made of gold, the Kraken, Captain Morgana, the main character.
Yep.
And so I finished the border like very early. Last night. I finished it last night, and I just wrapped the package today. There's Mojo. There's Morgana. Wow, visual aid. You guys are awesome.
You're right. We do what we can.
Yeah, you guys are
We've done this a few times.
The sweet business. Yeah, it wasn't my first time. That's pretty amazing. It's like kapow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did the border, and now that my side is done, I'm going to send it to her, and she's going to draw on her half of the cover. She's actually going to draw Morgana. They here with the skulls and a tattoo over her eye. She's got a black eye, so when she trades for your soul and you get a sip of that magic rum that she has there, you get your soul desire. You get one magical wish, pretty much like a genie, and then once you get your soul, it goes into her black eye. X marks the spot, and that's pretty much the premise of it.
Nice.
And so anyways, I'm going to send it to her. We're going to do a really nice lingerie edition. We're going to do like an evening gown, sparkly evening gown edition. And so anyways, I'm sending it to her. She's going to draw on her side, Captain Morgana. And we're going to do on the original, we're going to do the lingerie version. And then she's going to send it back to me. I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to scan it and then send it to her, send it back to her. And she is actually going to, for the very first time, going to color over my work.
Oh, interesting. So you guys,
it's going to be amazing because like one day I was just brainstorming how we're going to make this work. And you guys all know Dawn's work, and she's just like a master of like bringing things to life with energy, and like especially with her colors, she can do a lot of shine and sparkles. I mean, Chris, remember that waterfall in the background she did for your fountain?
Oh yes.
Yeah, right.
Like
Absolutely.
The whole water was just like glistening and sparkling and shining, and that's just what Dawn does best. So with the glitter dress and everything like that, it's gonna be amazing.
So how long will that process take? Do you think that jam's going to take for you? I mean, do you have an idea, or is it going to be like, let's just see where it goes?
Well, this is actually a question for Miss Dawn McTee, because she's got the lion's share of the work on this one, because I split the board in half and I gave her the forefront figure, but and a little bit more, so like my figure's a little bit smaller.
I think Eric froze there for a second.
Oh, he is frozen.
No worries. So
I
interestingly,
I saw your eyes sparkling, Chris, when he was talking about it'll have
there we go.
And this guy's like,
he'll come back.
It's starting to sound like Millie the Model. There's going to be a dress and a lingerie, and it's like all the outfits
There
of
you go.
Millie. It's like a new version of Millie the Model.
I'm going to let Eric sort out here. Let's see if we can.
That's all right. Well, interestingly, I was looking at a post from Dawn McTeague not 45 minutes ago, in which she did say on Instagram, "Sorry, I haven't been doing any live streams for a while. I'm doing some projects that are confidential. I hope I can tell you about them someday."
Mm-hmm.
So I have this sneaking suspicion that tomorrow she's going to say on Instagram, "Well, they were secret until last night when Eric let it all out of the bag. So
but he hasn't
now we're doing
yet,
a Kickstarter." So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that process is crazy. That's what, I don't think I've seen jams, obviously seen cover jams and things like that. But I think just the idea of mailing that back and forth and doing all that sort of stuff. Plus, I think Dawn and e.Bas there have similar ways of approaching things. There's enough of a difference there that's going to make that kind of interesting. I can't wait to see that.
I think it's cool they're doing it on one board. Usually people just each do a digital thing and then someone puts it together.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool piece for someone to buy with both of them on it.
Yeah, for sure.
I was going to suggest that they should put that up for auction and have me be the only bidder. But
The first step is, Chris, you gotta admit you have a problem, I think, is the first step. Or the first step is getting a larger basement. That could be the first step. Hey, look who I found. He's back. There he is.
I know you.
Sorry, technical difficulties. Was that us?
You're fine.
No, sometimes it just happens, man. It's the internet. The internet is fickle.
It's Sahara sandstorms messing up the internet.
The internet of sandstorms.
Yeah.
We're used to it. We cover for you. We wait till you're back. So.
Well, Eric, let me ask you a little bit about this here. There it is. This is your way of proving that Dawn, I really was going to send it out.
Don't show her address.
Yeah,
Don't show her
I don't want
address.
to show her address to the internet.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Don't show her address.
I don't know if you can see it. It says Don McTeague.
There you go. There you go. Oh, back it off.
While you were gone, Chris made a deal to buy that piece from you, though.
Right. You don't know, but there was an auction while you were gone, and I won the original piece. But
The live auction. You know what?
So when Dawn doesn't get it, it's our fault.
No worries.
Go ahead, Eric.
You may have to pry a Jackson from my cold dead fingers. I may keep it. I may keep it. But yeah, so she actually has the lion's share of the duties because like she's gonna have to pencil it and then do her like topless patch and then like wait for me and then I'll have to send it to her and then color it. And I'm gonna draw a character that no one has seen before, Davy Jones. She's kind of like this female sexy octopus. She's got like octopus hair and everything. So she's gonna have to color that, and it's gonna be for the first time. And she gets she's a perfectionist, and she's gonna get a little nervous. She's gonna get a little. So it may take her like some time. It may take her some time.
This is going to be a challenge. This will take some doing to make a sexy person with octopus hair.
Oh well, I mean,
we're a little detriment to the hotness when they have octopus hair.
I don't know, man. It can make it work. I think they're going to make it work.
You got your own.
It's going to work.
That's true.
It's going to work. It's going to work. And she's going to be in lingerie, sitting next to a Don McTeague line.
So when is this Kickstarter slated to? Oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted. I apologize. Go ahead.
Oh no, I said you want the auction.
Yeah.
When is the Kickstarter slated to go? Are you trying to finish the whole project before you do a Kickstarter?
Yeah. We're trying to go for a late August release.
Okay.
I mean, I think maybe even sooner, but I want to give everyone a month. I have another guest who's going to do a jam cover with me. He's a fairly big name, and it is none other than Mr. Dave Finch.
Nice.
You guys heard?
I've heard of that man. Yes.
David Finch. He's been a superstar like category. He's done like Batman and things like that.
Yeah.
He's a big name.
And it's going to be the same type of situation. I'm going to draw on one side, he's going to draw on the other, and it will be a full topless version as well. And I'm going to hand that over to Miss Sabine Rich, and she's going to tackle the color duties on that. So I'm going to have like a couple of really good names with me for my launch. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
Nice. Well, it's good to catch up because we saw Mojo kind of kicked in around 4 or 5 years ago, right? That first issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you've been working with JP and Don and folks at Rothic for a little while now, right?
Since the day we met, actually, I met them all, and Don McTeague, you guys heard the story. She told JP to come run after me and chase me down and like, hey, you got to work with this guy. And, The rest is history. We were pretty much inseparable for like 2 or 3 years. We traveled everywhere together. We shared the same like hotel rooms and, bathrooms and sometimes dinner. We were inseparable. We met one day, and that was it.
So, what was the first thing that you worked on with JP and Don? What was the first thing that you guys collaborated on? And how? And because you've done a number of projects, over the years, different titles and stuff like that. So what was the first one?
I want to say hi to William. Hello, William. I don't know you.
Yeah, you're missing out, baby.
I was going to introduce you to this. William Binderup is the owner of Elite Comics in Overland Park, Kansas. And William is the gentleman who started Planet Comicon Kansas City with me more than 20 years ago. So you probably met him at my convention. But William e.Bas.
That's amazing.
So
which one?
The very first issue of Southern Nightgown, the snake wrapped around
Oh.
the world.
Oh, okay. Southern Nightgown.
okay.
Yes, so the nightgown.
That was your first one? Cool.
It's actually a really funny story. I get asked to draw covers for people a lot, all the time. And these little young, spunky, attractive girls just like come bounding into my table, and they're like, "Hey, can you draw my comic book?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, sure, no problem. I'll put it in the pile, in the stack of stuff." And I surprisingly still have the very first Ancient Books book that they gave me, but I didn't really take them seriously at first, because it was like a self-published comic. I mean, it was a nice looking one and everything, but I was just like, who are you guys, because you don't see women just with their own comic like that. It's unheard of. Chris Jackson, this. They're kind of the first, and so it's a really fun story. And as I got to know the girls, I was just like, wow, you ladies are amazing. Yeah, let's keep you in my life. And from the moment I met them, we all went out to dinner. And that very same night, we all ate, and they came back to my place, and literally we were inseparable. Yes, awesome. That Southern Nightgown right there, and it's beautiful stuff. And Dawn, I guess she was like a big fan of mine, or something like that. So she always came to me with art, conversations or art advice and things like that. So we worked really closely on some layouts and things like that. Yeah. But she's mostly, she's JP's artist. So I came in from time to time and things like that. But we worked very closely, and we did a Southern Nightgown, an Ancient Dreams connecting cover. Yeah. We were at a Comic-Con, and we had this idea. JP had an idea of the girls intertwining and connecting hands, and I did a little thumbnail on the hotel bed really quick. It was about that big. That hotel pad that they had there with the pen, and that was our first time Don and I worked together on a cover. No way, you're gonna pop it up?
I'm not sure if I'm gonna find
we have that sheet of paper.
I don't have the sheet of paper.
That would be awesome if you had that at fingertips.
It might be in my basement. It might be in my basement. So
with 200 boxes of comics. Wow, Chris, that's amazing.
He wishes it was only 200. It's closer to 2,000.
Yeah.
He's exaggerating. But that's okay.
And then I think, and then also Rem8, you obviously you did a lot on that one as well, right?
Yeah. We did a lot of innovative things together. Rem8 was actually the very first time that anyone did a full nude. I kept telling everybody that there's a market for it. There's a market for it. People are going to love it, and everyone was too scared. They were all chicken shit. Can I say that? Dang it. They were all scared. And JP Ross, he was just like, I'll do it. I'm not scared. And it was the first time that ever happened. We did a full nude, and then everyone else followed suit, and they're just like, it works. And we did a lot of Rem8 stuff. I was surprised the girl did the book. It's such a naughty book. It's like a naughty Asian assassin prostitute. She traps you in her mind. In the REM stream, and then she'll kill you. Yeah, it's intense. It's intense.
That stuff happens all the time. You don't hear about it, but
that happens to me all the time.
You get stuck in the REM. You get stuck in the fantasy world, and that's where they have all the power. All the girls.
Well, it's interesting because you obviously have the way you approach your art. It's very sensual, and and then working with JP and Don, I mean, they bring their perspective to things. It sounds like that there's a lot of collaboration and stuff. What about arguments? I mean, is there things like that you don't agree on, and how does that work how do you find like the direction you're going to go, and how do you get consensus?
Oh, yeah. Canadians are just mean and rude, and she came to me with this like sass, and she's like, "I'm not going to draw that," and like she actually had something from the hotel and then threw it at me. No, I'm kidding. Canadians are mean. No. We've never had a tip. We've never even come close. The girls are just amazing. Absolutely. Awesome. No, we've never even come close to anything like that. Because
is there like a debate like it should be this way? No, it should be this way. I mean, any of that type of stuff, or is it like, I mean, is it really that you guys are that in sync? It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, we just really like each other. It's like Chris. I mean, have you ever had a fight with, Dawn? No, it just doesn't happen. They're just amazing women. I'm lucky and honored to know them and to have watched them grow from the very beginning, to be there from very day one. I drew Southern Nightgown #1 cover. It was a fun story. Chris invited me to his show years and years ago when I was kind of like rising at Top Cow. Like I was like kind of like at the peak of my career over there. Mm-hmm. And he had me to a show and I had a great time, a lot of great people and everything like that. And then years later, maybe 7 years later, I ran into him again at a con and I'm like, great, Chris, stop right there. I want to introduce you to all these lovely ladies. You don't want to talk to me anymore. And I introduced him to JP and to Claire and to Dawn, and I pretty much haven't spoken to Chris since, because I was right. I was like,
even when we're together, you don't speak to me.
Talk to the girls, Chris, because I mean, everyone will rather talk to the girls than to me. So I was just like, wait, stop.
Thank you for that introduction, Aaron.
On the rest of history, I introduced him to all the girls, and I was like, I know you want me back at your show and everything, but why don't you talk to the girls? They're fun. And that's how they met. They met right there on the spot, and that was history. I don't know if you remember.
I do. I do.
Well, of course you remember meeting them, but I was there too. I was there too.
I remember parts of that. So
Eric, you've been doing this for a little while, man. Take me, like, when did you first start getting interested in art, maybe as a kid, and then when did you start thinking that I could actually make a living at this?
It was a fluke. Comics growing up wasn't, what it is now. It wasn't like mainstream. It wasn't popular. Everybody wasn't doing it. Like kids weren't wearing T-shirts. So I've been into comics my whole life. I won my first contest in kindergarten. Best finger painting turkey. It's a true story. My mom was proud. She kept the ribbon. It's like a purple ribbon with the thing hanging down that said first place. But I've always been into art, but I'm second generation, actually. My dad and his brother were like Chris. They bought comic books off that spinny rack in the store, and they were 10 cents each. They weren't 5 cents. They're about 10 cents. So they always have comics lying around. They have all the Avengers, they have all the Thors and the X-Men. My uncle, he had all of them in great condition. My dad had a lot of them as well. Like he had an entire run of, the Mighty Thor, and he had X-Men. We still have them. I still have all the Golden Age and the Silver Age. They're all like in the bags and protected, and they were all laying around. And my dad could draw. So I'm pretty much second generation. It's in my blood. I was born into comics, and I started real young. I had a visit at Extreme Studios, which was Rob Liefeld's studio at the time. I was 15 years old, and he really liked my work. And he's like, "Hey, dude, as soon as you turn 18, you have a job waiting for you."
Wow.
Except that Mark Silvestri saw my work. When I was 18, and Top Cow and Wild Summer were my my favorite art studio. So I was dying to work there. They gave me a job. It was right here in Santa Monica, and I was able to drive in. And as soon as I turned 18, they hired me. And this is a Cinderella story. I've never had a real job. I've never had a boss. I've never had to wake up and go to work or anything like that. I found comics my whole life.
Yeah.
It's a Cinderella story. I was very lucky. I was born into it. Comic books were just lying around. My dad had, drawings everywhere. I got my talent from him. It's hereditary. He was my first favorite artist.
That's awesome.
I still have a lot of his art still to today. I still keep it as inspiration, and all that good stuff. I feel like I'm leaving everyone else out. Like there's 4 of us here, and I'm like the only one.
No. That's how this
We're
works.
here to talk to you. We're here to talk to you tonight, Eric.
Well,
it's very interesting to hear how you got started, and I wanted to get there. I wanted to find out how you got into comics, and we're hearing that. Yeah. So this is perfect.
Yeah, it's a really. I don't like to tell the story because there's so many struggling stories out there, but mine is not one of them. I was at the San Diego Comicon. I've been going since I was 12. Again, so fortunate. I've gone every 4 days. I've gone since I was 12. And my parents, they were really into comics. They really liked it. They all collected. My mom, my dad, my brother, everybody. So it was like a big family like vacation. Like, some people go to like the mountains and go camping and stuff like that. We went to Comic-Con, the Comic-Con. And you go up to the same booth every year. They eventually get to know your face. They get to know your name. And they eventually like remembered me. And they're like, hey, you're like an adult now. And like, my mom actually like shoved my portfolio in their face. Like I was waiting patiently, but she couldn't wait anymore. We were next in line, and I've been waiting for 3 hours to see Mark. And Michael Turner was right next to him actually, and they saw my work, and that was pretty much it. They said, "Hey, well, can you drive to the Top Cow Studios?" I'm like, "Yeah, I live very close," and the rest is history. History.
I love. I'm looking at your. This is your DeviantArt link, and it's just it's a wall of covers here, and it's crazy. It's amazing.
There's a Batman cover there. There's Little Mermaid.
Yep.
There's another Justice League cover down in the middle bottom in black and white. I've done work for everybody: DC, Marvel, Dark Horse, Dynamite.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. I mean, is there a female character that is around right now, or maybe something that you from your past that you would, I'd really love to I'd like to do my take on that.
I would like to e.Basify it. Yeah. There's a character that a lot of people, that was not, someone else coined it. Like people have had a lot of fun with it. Yeah. There's a character that you guys probably don't know. It's called Voodoo from Wildcats.
Oh yeah.
The Jim Lee design that he created. I would love to do a Voodoo cover one day. I saw her when I was 12, like Wildcats, I was 12 years old. You got to get in close, Chris. You got to get in close.
I'm getting in close to look at your covers. I'm thinking back to that evening that after dinner, we went back to your condo, and on your drawing table was a very detailed multi-character cover. Avengers, maybe? Did you do a big event?
Ultimate Fantastic Four. I designed all the outfits for that comic. I actually designed the Iron Thing, which is the thing inside an iron suit, and he had a cannon on top that I designed, and I believe that may have inspired the Hulkbuster suit because it looks eerily similar to mine. Yeah. Eerily similar, at least in my head. I'm taking credit.
Yeah.
I inspired the Hulkbuster suit. I do have the cover. Still, I didn't want to sell it. Just like the Don McTee e.Bas Jam. I don't know if I'm going to sell it, so I'm staying in the vault because I'm a fan. I still stand in line from some of my favorite artists at a show. I have comics, and I'll bring them to sign it because I still go to my comic shop. It's in my blood. I'll never stop.
I was trying to find it. And I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it real quick.
I was looking for that cover that I saw on your drawing table that night. I was at your condo, and I didn't spot it there, but eventually I'll see it again.
You saw the Justice League cover.
Oh, Justice League.
No,
that was it.
You saw, Chris, you saw the Justice League cover.
Yes, it was
JP
Justice
was
League
telling
cover.
me that you wanted it. And I'm like, maybe. Because it's a childhood dream of mine. You know, I started my career at Top Cow, which is where I wanted to be. I love indie stuff. I get to be free. I get to, you know, exercise my artistic muscles. But when you get to draw like the big two, you just get all giddy and happy. And I drew Superman, and that's my mom's favorite character. So there was a lot of pressure to get that done right. And I still have the original. It's
let's see. I might have found it. I mean, hey, give me a second here.
I'll tell you, it was pretty impressive walking in and seeing that original art on his drawing table.
Is that the one?
That could be.
That's the one.
Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah,
that's pretty slick.
Thank you. I inked it myself. It myself.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you, guys. You know that's one of the
process. Go ahead.
Yeah,
it was interesting because the cover was in process, and it's always interesting to see an in-process work.
Mm-hmm.
See where it is and where it goes. So,
you know, it's funny because when people see my work, they're like, they look at it and then they turn to look at me and they're like, wow, sometimes I forget that you draw. You have this amazing ability, they tell me, and I'm like, oh well, thanks for forgetting.
Well, we have a question here. This one's from Bruce. Bruce wants to know where will we find the link for the Kickstarter? Where would be the best place to look or to watch out?
Facebook. Facebook is what we do. Our main advertising. I mean, it'll be on my website, of course, e.Bas.mojo.com.
Yep.
It'll, of course, it'll be there. I mean, Don McTeague is going to advertise for it. I'm sure Dave Finch will probably advertise for it on their social platforms, but mostly Facebook. Yeah, that's where I do most of it. I spend most of my time on Instagram, but it's not good for advertising like Facebook is.
Yeah.
So definitely keep an eye out for that. But again, at the end of August is our schedule.
And we will keep track with you, Eric. And when this happens, we will make sure we put it out on Planet Comic-Con's platforms for you.
Absolutely.
So.
That would be great, guys. That would be great. Do Don McTeague's cover first. Yeah. on the front page. You know what? You could even crop mine out. Like you can crop it so it makes you Dawn's song. You know.
Dawn, that name rings a bell. I think I know her.
Oh, yeah.
You should pitch that Voodoo book. They've been talking about restarting Wildcats for like 10 years. You put your name on it, maybe they'll let you do that Voodoo book.
I would love to draw anything Wildcats. That's my favorite comic of all time. I mean, I know no one ever had that answer.
About every 6 months, they talk about restarting it, and they never seem to do it. Maybe they just need you to sign on and get it going.
I'm the secret weapon.
You need your agent, JP Roth, to contact them.
I send in JP. That's what I always do.
Yeah, you can get it done.
She's an aggressive negotiator. She can get that for you.
There you go.
Secret weapon.
I'm looking for a good screenshot of the character, and I could totally see how you could e-Basify it for sure.
Oh, Voodoo, yeah.
Oh yeah, it would be I could totally see it.
She has two outfits. The full bodysuit is not the one I want to do. This other one where she's got like the fur on the boots and things like that.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
It sucks because like, uh-oh.
It's all right. William will take care of that.
Didn't know that
I
number.
really like your background. The surfer, you got Iron Man back there.
Well, these are e.Bas. These are Third Eye posters published in 1971. The one over my left shoulder is Iron Man. The one over the right shoulder is Silver Surfer. Yeah, and I picked these up off eBay recently, and I enjoy them.
Yeah.
So
those are black light posters.
Yeah,
that's amazing. To my right, we have Geisha Girl.
Yes.
And Poison Ivy. This is all JP stuff.
I was gonna say we recognize the background, man.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Until you were sitting there.
I mean, I just recently got a garage. I don't have a basement, but the man cave is in the works.
There you go.
It'll look cool like Jackson's. One day.
Well, Eric, do me a favor. Stick around. William is going to go, and he's going to walk us through some of the things that you'll be able to find on the shelves at your local comic book store tomorrow, since tomorrow's Wednesday. This is just the time of the show where we kind of gawk at all the beautiful things that William shows us, and see what's going to be what's happening and what you guys will be talking about in the store tomorrow, right?
What everyone's going to be searching for.
What everybody was going to be searching for. And so, just in case you've been under a rock, you don't know who William is. William Binderup, proprietor, owner, lead box packer, shopkeep at Elite Comics here in Kansas City. Dog walker. Can't forget dog walker. So William, what do you got, man? You got a box. What's this?
No, I'm saving this one for the end. I'm just taking the wrap off this.
Don't.
Smart man.
He's just teasing us now.
I don't want to spoil that one for you. It's all indie week this week. Marvel and DC are taking the week off. Of course. Not pre-planned, but they're taking the week off.
What do you mean not pre-planned?
Well, Marvel they're doing issues one week and trades the other week, and it happened to fall on this week that they don't have anything, and this is also the off week between DC switching distributors from Diamond to these other two guys. So there's a week where no one's getting DC because the distributors are getting their act together. But
got it.
So we'll be back on next week. Will actually be like the first regular weekend since the shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing is, since Free Comic Day is unfunked, we don't know when we're going to have it. It's not defunct, unfunked right now. We'll have at least this Free Comic Book Day book tomorrow.
Nice.
This is the new Robert Kirkman book, Firepower, with many time guest at Planet, Chris Samney, or Somney, doing the art. So they have this Free Comic Book issue, which is the preview issue, and also on the same day, the first volume of the trade paperback comes out. And
so Free Comic Book Day was May 2nd, right?
Yes.
So they got to put the preview out, or the main book doesn't make any sense.
Well, yeah, we'll be giving away a lot of Free Comic Book Day books in the next few months because they'll come out. There's some that aren't really related to stuff that's coming out, but a lot of them are like lead-ins to storylines that are going on in the books. So those will need to come out. So
gotcha.
We theoretically will be having Free Comic Day in October. If we all live to October, we'll have it then. But there will be various Free Comic Day books all summer long.
Awesome. Fair enough.
So at least tomorrow you'll be able to pick up one, Firepower the Prelude and Firepower Volume 1. And then speaking of Robert Kirkman, a lot of people have said a lot of stuff they want to help out comic shops. Kirkman got word that, after the shutdown that comic shops were having a hard time trying to figure what he could do. So he did this. The Return of Walking Dead books.
Mm.
This is a Negan Lives one-shot. Comes out tomorrow. There's this with the red cover, and then there's also one with gold foil and one with silver foil. And he sent these to comic shops at no charge.
Wow. So
I appreciate everything that Marvel and DC and everyone has done, but Kirkman and Image have done the one thing that is straight up, hey, you guys have had a hard couple of months, here's some free money.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So this issue, all those people that have been dying for a new Walking Dead issue, haven't had one for about a year, you get a new, and this is Kirkman and Adlard, the whole team back. A little story about, because we never knew the end of Negan when they stopped doing the book. Negan was still alive, so you'll get a little taste of where Negan has gone. So that'll be neat.
Sweet.
We have lots of those, and then we'll have, I'm sure, a bidding war or actual fisticuffs about who's going to get the gold and silver covers tomorrow. This one is one of my favorite books coming out right now, Isola. This is volume 2. We have volume 1 in the store, but this book is absolutely beautiful.
Mm.
This is one of the best looking books coming out of the market right now, and their trades are super cheap, $17. You get 6 issues, so volume 2 of this will be out tomorrow.
Mhm.
Let's see. We also always like to focus on the local. So, The Goddamned Virgin Brides, Jason Aaron,
There you go.
local writer. There hasn't been a new issue of Goddamned in almost 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jason Aaron and his original artist from Scalped, R.M. Guerra, doing the super violent and vaguely biblical stories. But that Guerra art,
Wow.
beautiful. So everyone who's been missing The Goddamn will finally get a new issue of that tomorrow.
Nice.
This was a really cool looking book. Blaze is a new kind of a smaller publisher, but this is a nice hardcover. The Wild Thing or My Life as a Wolf. I got a whole stack of these because I just thought it looked really cool.
Is that, you just said that's a hardcover?
Yeah, it's like never came out in issues. It's straight shipped hardcover like this kind of. They do that in the European books all the time. They come out in these little bit oversized hardcovers as their first edition. So yeah, this thing looked really cool. You know, William likes nothing better than some talking dogs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that'll be cool. And then the cherry for the week is the Jack Kirby Absolute Fourth World. Surface hardcover.
Ooh.
So it's got the little face out in this really cool with the profile on the back. And this is just volume 1, but that super awesome.
Oh my gosh.
World Jack Kirby stuff. If you want one of these, I would suspect you better call me in the morning.
I was gonna.
These are going to fly.
Can I ask how much that bad boy is?
That is $150.
That's
at $150.
Jack Kirby, wow.
Yeah, and that it looks beautiful.
Look at the size of this baby. This thing's a beauty.
Wow.
And it's the the gap binding with the little ribbon in it for your placeholder, but oh man, just the color and the art, and get to see this Kirby stuff reproduced in this quality. Plus, this slipcase is just a beautiful volume to have on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought this thing was really cool. And then when you put it back in the slipcase, you get the character in the window there.
Yeah, the packaging on that is gorgeous. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so I already reordered this because I know I won't have a copy at the end of the day tomorrow, and I'll definitely want one. But as much as I want a copy, I'm still trying to expand my collection of presidential portraiture on little green pieces of paper. So I will sell my copy. And then the other thing I think we're going to sell out, I got 16 sets of these, 6 cases of these, and I put a picture of them online. And most of them are claimed now.
Oh, I bet. Is he eating a frog?
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing. There's 6 different little baby Yoda toys.
Can we talk about if these had been on sale around the holiday season?
Oh my God.
I mean,
I think they were smart because they wouldn't reveal because they didn't want to mess up the show.
Right. The name.
Wouldn't let them reveal that there was going to be a baby Yoda, which, I mean, no one can keep a secret about anything in Hollywood. If one person knows, the whole world knows.
Right.
We were able to keep this thing a secret. I think of Baby Yoda as the character that saved Star Wars. Back to that last movie, everyone was like, that was a good run. I like Star Wars, but it's over. I'm done with it. And then Baby Yoda, everyone's like, I'm back. I'm 100% back in. I love Baby Yoda.
I think it's the pivot point. I think The Mandalorian, and then the way that Clone Wars is ending up, and I think The Mandalorian's a huge pivot point for that entire universe.
Plus, it also gives me, which I very much love, a new reason to hate people. So if I say this is Baby Yoda, and then someone tries to explain to me that this isn't actually Baby Yoda, y'all know it's not Baby Yoda. but now I know I hate you for trying to explain that to me. It doesn't have a name, so we call it Baby Yoda, but we all know this isn't the actual Yoda character as a.
So you're just basically saying I don't want to be geek-splained.
Yes. Keep it to yourself, baby. We all know.
Yeah, we get it. We've read the Wikipedia article. It's all there.
Yoda's old and this is Baby, whatever. But yeah, there's like 6 different ones of these. We're gonna burn these things out tomorrow. I wish I'd ordered way more of them.
Nice. So that's you're saying it's an off week, but that's a pretty decent haul, especially that Jack Kirby. That Jack Kirby's absolutely gorgeous.
We've got a couple new big statues this week, so if you really want to go in deep, you can get some statues.
You were describing that, I think, last week. You were hoping that that certain statues would sell, so you could put new statues out.
I did sell one of those big ones. I never even had to take it out of the box. That was awesome.
That's even better.
Try and find a place for it. Someone came and bought them in the box, so that's the bonus there.
Awesome. William Binderup, Elite Comics. There's the website, elitecomics.wordpress.com. Facebook, you can find him. Twitter, you can find him. He's everywhere. And
I was going to tell William about it. If you run out of those Baby Yodas, William, we got in our Planet Comicon limited edition exclusive licensed Baby Yoda pins. I have them now.
Ooh.
Oh man!
So I could maybe commission your store to be one of our official places to sell those pins.
Yeah. People love Baby Yoda. Let me score some from you.
We were supposed to give those away and sell those at the show in March, and something happened at the show in March. I forget what.
Something weird.
Yeah.
The beginning of that. I heard the sell part. What'd you say right before that? There were a couple words I think you said something like giveaway, but I don't really know what that means. I've heard those words, but not together.
Right.
Yes. So, by the way, while we've been sitting here I've been watching William do this. Everybody knows I have a little obsession with Millie the Model. I literally found sitting within 2 feet of me a coverless copy of Millie the Model Annual 1 from 1962. It's actually a fairly rare annual. Very cool. Wow. Which I can now read because it's complete. And I found this, which I had no idea I even owned, which is a set of small trading cards from 1979. They were literally sitting an arm's length from my computer here.
Dude.
And they are from Wimpy's Hamburgers.
Oh, yeah.
1979.
There was a Wimpy's here in Kansas City then.
Yeah, so I've got that set of 20 cards. Had no idea. Now I got to find out where they come from, what the history of them is.
So here's the deal. I want to see Millie the Model get the e.Bas treatment.
There you go.
Yeah.
e.Bas. I'm going to have to commission an e.Basification of Millie the Model.
Millie the Model. So, I love a challenge. I could do that piece of cake. She's got
What year?
This is from 1962.
Yeah.
It was one of the first Marvel square-bound 25-cent annuals. It might be challenged by Strange Tales annual #1. So
25 cents. They'll never make money doing this.
Yeah, this is. I love. They have all kinds of various fashion pages. These are. I know. I'm a very weird guy.
All the outfits, dude.
This is what you need to be doing instead of Voodoo. You need to be relaunching Millie the Model.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Millie the Model's Nifty 90s.
There it is.
Nifty 90s. This is a page that
it's like a paper doll. It's a paper doll. It's a paper doll, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
If this e.Bas, you would be a star at Millie the Model 90s.
e.Bas, what does?
Right?
More e.Bas than that.
Yeah, I would draw her like that with all the dresses like next to her while she's just in her panties. Yeah. She's like that pig. That pig, she's just in her panties and not wearing anything. That's why they can charge 25 cents. That's an expensive comic for that era. 25 cents, damn.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
if you want to see her, you got to pay. You got 25 cents. It cost 10 cents where I was from at Flicky's Burger. Man.
Millie the Model is Helen of Troy. Millie the Model is Helen of Troy.
People
are very busy.
Historical Millie the Model.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
You can learn history right here. So
yeah.
You see this is in great shape.
You're just tearing it apart, man.
I'm just holding pieces of it up. I have an actual complete copy that I can go through. So and put it
You
all
know
back
what's
together
funny?
in the right order.
What's funny about Millie the Model, I'd never heard of her up until the Big Bang Theory show. Do you remember that episode? They were all talking about how Stan Lee created characters with the same initials for like the first and last name, Peter Parker, like everyone having the same initials. And then at the very end of his list, he's like, and then the most annoying Millie the Model. Like,
I got to find that clip now. I got to find that clip for Chris.
And I don't know that.
They did have the model. Now Chris can never watch that show again.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
This is very funny. So, e.Bas, you're talking about being a collector in Southern California back years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was a vendor at the Shrine Auditorium shows every month for years.
The Shrine. Oh, wow.
Were you shopping those Shrine shows?
Oh, yeah. I went every Saturday, again, with my dad. Like, any chance we could go.
I bet I met you when you were like 9. I bet.
Oh, yeah.
This is funny.
Oh, my, what are the odds? Because my entire family was known throughout, like, Southern California because we went to all the shows. Again,
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, wow. What are the odds? I probably bought something at a booth.
I absolutely. You had to have known me.
It's a small
we
world.
Met way back then. This would be 19. I was there between about 1987 and 1996 or 7. Would those be years?
Yeah, I got into it in '92. Like for buying like multiple copies when Image came out. I was going.
Oh
to
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was at I was at all the Southern California cons. We met each other then and didn't even know it. That's what happened.
You remember a white-haired guy who was really mean to kids? That was
yes. I was the guy that didn't care about a customer. You're mishandling that book. Get away from my table.
That's my
I was
Millie
never the
Model.
customer is always right kind of guy.
e.Bas, hey, thanks for joining us this week. Thanks for hanging out with us. A lot of fun. Yeah, Tim says he would buy an e.Bas Millie. So I think there you go. I think next time you're at Comicon Kansas City, I think that's a commission that needs to happen right there.
They'll turn it
I'm
into
in
a
request one. I'll tell you that. I'm in request one.
There you go.
Okay.
Hey guys, thank you for having me. It was my first virtual con. You guys popped my cherry. You'll have it forever. Thank you guys for everything.
Thanks for being here.
We chat a little bit backstage after the show's over. So if you can hang on for a minute, we can chat for a couple minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Hang out for a second here, and we'll close things down for everybody on the front side of this. William, thanks again. We'll be probably, like I said, tomorrow folks can connect with you and let's see all the new stuff that's hitting the shelves. Chris, we'll see you everywhere just because that's just how it is, and we'll see you on eBay and all that sort of good stuff.
Against Chris for everything.
That's right.
I'll be down at Williams tomorrow looking through that Kirby book because that's 10 pounds I don't currently have.
It's by weight.
I accidentally got a full set of those 7-Eleven superhero cups from 1975.
Are these? Oh, the little plastic.
Yeah, a woman came in and said, "Are these of any value?" I go, "Oh, some." She goes, "You can have them."
Oh, great.
So I have all of them.
William, they're worth like $1 a cup. I know a guy who'll buy them.
That's how it always works.
Bring those 3 comics that I already offered to buy from you. We'll trade.
And Eric, he might be auctioning that jam. I don't know. You got to make sure that gets to Dawn because she's going to be really ticked off with all of us if it doesn't get to Dawn in time.
I'll have Dawn take a picture of that same package and send it to me later.
There you go. Hey, don't forget this Sunday we've got another live stream. We're going to be connecting with our good friends over at US Toy, Magic and Costume Shop. Jelly Bean will be hosting our cosplay crafter live stream with HTC Fabrication. They're going to go a deep dive into this recent build they did on a set of armor from The Mandalorian that looks fantastic that I believe they unveiled up at C2E2 this year. So we're really looking forward to that. And then I think, Chris, we're gonna take a little break this next week with Talking Comics. I know we've got a holiday on Saturday. But we'll probably be picking things up too and picking that schedule up sometime here very soon.
Yeah.
So
I'll talk to William about that. We'll talk to some guests about that, and we'll come back soon.
Of course. And everybody else, thanks so much for joining us for another Tuesday night of Talking Comics. We'll see you again very soon here. And until then, be sure you're supporting your local comic shops. We'll see you next time, guys. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Eric.
Thank you, guys.
Sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. We have a liftoff. Liftoff on